Another House Democrat is jumping ship. Gosh, there are a lot of people exiting. We've been talking about like the vice president's office, and look at this. Oregon Representative and chair of the House Transportation Committee, Peter DeFazio, has announced he's retiring. He's now the 12th House Democrat to do so ahead of the 2022 midterms. Republicans say they're very hopeful that they will take back the majorities. Both of them, not just the House, but the Senate, too. CNN with this headline, Democrats officially have a retirement problem. Politico saying majority blues. House Dems not done limping for the exit. An excerpt from that piece reads this way. Democrat landmark bills are getting neutered in the Senate. They've already started a brutal round of redistricting as President Joe Biden's approval ratings nosedive. And Sean Hannity, well, of course he never does, not holding back.
Joe Biden is a disaster. His policies are terrible. His brain is barely functioning. America is now facing several major crises. He has caused every one, and all of them have been preventable. Now, Republicans, independents, Democrats are desperately looking for a better way forward.
Power panel now. Jason Meister, former Trump Advisory Board member, and Leslie Marshall, Fox News contributor. Jason, I'll come to you first. Top line thoughts.
Yeah, look, it's pretty clear to me that Democrats are preparing for the midterms, and they understand that they have a choice. They can either quit, be fired, or they're going to be in the minority. When you have over 71% of this country thinking that we're headed in the wrong direction, and the GOP has the largest lead over the Democrats in over 40 years, you know that something's gone wrong. And you saw Virginia. It was a 5-alarm fire. The Democrats have failed America on every reasonable metric. You look at the southern border, Afghanistan, COVID, supply chain, inflation, gas prices, the list goes on and on. So it's no wonder that Democrats want to jump off the Titanic.
It's interesting because in New Jersey, there was at least a 2-alarm fire politically for the incumbent, Phil Murphy. He was able to squeak it out, but some of those same issues came up with a Republican pretty much coming out of nowhere, Jack Ciattarelli, and making it a competitive race right down to the end. Leslie.
Well, with regard to Democrats leaving, there are 11 Republicans leaving. Right now, 19 Democrats have announced, and 12 of those 19 won their districts, like Jackie Speer, Karen Bass, for example, by 20, 30, 40, even 50+% margins. Those seats are not going to flip red. I don't think it's a doom. I think it's cyclical, and I think it's historical. When you have the president in power as a Republican, they lose seats. When the president in power is a Democrat, they lose seats. That I'm not surprised about. I'm also not surprised when some people don't get policies passed, like this latest retirement announcement. But in that district, Oregon's 1st district, they haven't been Republicans since prior to 1975. More than half the district is Democratic. A lot of universities there. I'm not concerned about that seat, even though in the last race, he won it by a slim margin.
You know, Leslie, you're right. Every president knows that that first round, and if it's your second round of midterm elections is going to be messy. And they do lose seats. But what's different about this, to me, Jason, is the fact that we could see a situation where the Senate is in play, too. That Republicans could end up with both houses of Congress because the majorities were so close, and nobody talked about that. You know, Biden and his administration thought they had a mandate, or at least they said that early on. That's not what squeaky close means.
There's no question. And Joe Biden really has become the greatest surrogate for the Republican Party. That's why everyone at every stadium is singing the song, Let's Go Brandon. But the other thing that I think is in play is like you said, is the Senate. So I think the Democrats are in a huge uphill battle going forward in this country, because I think Americans are waking up to the policies that are inflicting their lives with pain.
Wow, what you just said, I want to repeat it. Biden has become the greatest surrogate for the Republican Party. Your quick thought on that, Leslie?
Well, I think that we're going to see in 2024 that Donald Trump will be once again for the Democratic Party. That's a problem Republicans have. Democrats have a split within their own party between progressives and centrist moderates. But Republicans have a battle between the moderate Republicans, the old school Republicans, the Mitch McConnell Republicans, and those people that seem to worship at the altar of Donald Trump. So I would say whoever is at the top of whatever party tends to be beneficial to the opposition when you have an election. And midterms right now are a lifetime away.
A quick rebuttal, Jason, we got to go.
No, there's no question that Joe Biden is far better of a surrogate for the Republican Party than Donald Trump ever was for the Democrats, because Donald Trump's his policies advanced Americans' lives across every single metric.
Well, it's interesting you say that, because now we're looking at the policy at the border that President Biden, within the first few hours of his presidency, undid, and that's the Remain in Mexico policy. Because we're in trouble down there. We've got so much going on at our border. All right, good to see you both. Leslie, Jason, bring you back. Thank you.